Hello everyone, welcome into my channel. I want to first and foremost thank you for being here. It is a fantastic day in the Addams household, and I needed to come on here because I've been wanting to do this for over a week, and I might stumble a little bit, so please give me a little bit of forgiveness. So I've been wanting to do this for, like I said, quite a while. You also graciously got me to 7,000 subscribers, and actually over 7,000 subscribers now. And I really wanted to thank all of you for all of the love and the kindness that you have shown me and continue to show me. You make me feel so incredibly important. And I've said it before, without you, there's no reason for me to have this channel. There's really not. And there's so many people I want to thank, and I wrote down a couple. On YouTube, I specifically want to thank Tanya, Kirsten, Thelma, Bruce and Dennis, Marzana, Dandy, Muppets, Designs Laura, Brian and Aaron. You're new to me, but you're fantastic. Cindy, Roberta, Elizabeth, Sarah, and both Sarahs, by the way, as I kind of still stare at my list, which is ever growing. Dina Marie, Jen, Leslie, T at T's Jewelry, Steph, Lady Sylvia. There's so many more that I want to thank. The list, when I was writing them down to kind of make sure I thanked everyone, the list goes on and on and on. As to my viewers and my friends, now my instant family and instant friends, I've gotten a chance to meet quite a few people in real life that watch me, and that was part of the video from yesterday from the Burton Antique Show. And I want to say I appreciate all of you for when I do a video like that and I don't seem 100% or I'm not completely perfect. Thank you for giving me social grace and accepting me for exactly who I am and what I do. The Come With Me videos just don't come naturally to me. They just really don't. But I really wanted to take you with me because that show's only twice a year. So thank you again for your forgiveness when I'm not perfect. A big shout out to my mom and dad. Thank you so much for providing me an amazing life and for making me become the person I am today. To my partner, Jeremy, I love you so much. Thank you for completing my life. To his mom and dad, Becky and Jerry, thank you so much. A shout out to all of you. And to my local friends here, you know who you are. I don't have to list each and every one of you because I tell you on a daily basis how much I love you. And otherwise, this is going to make me sound like I'm trying to run for some sort of beauty pageant. So thank you so much, everyone, for the love and the support. Like I said, without you, this wouldn't have been possible. This was supposed to be a two-part video in my mind today, and I just don't think it's gonna be. I think I'm just gonna stay camera up with you for just a little while longer. I highly suggest you stick with me for at least a couple more minutes because I do have a book on my desk that's one of the most important books you'll ever have in your library, which will assist you greatly in your journey in specifically antique and vintage jewelry, both buying and selling, and also the third part of that, which is collecting, which apparently most of us do. So that's the basis of my channel. And I just want to reinforce, I'm an artist, I'm an animal advocate. I worked at a veterinary clinic for a long time. Animals are a big part of my life. So I just want to reinforce me and who I am as a person as well. I try and keep a lot of my personal things off of YouTube, but sometimes a lot of you have asked about my past. If you want to know more about me, there are some other videos in my library of videos, and you can go to those and watch those because I do a lot more intimate things early on my channel. I'm going to try and get back to my roots very quickly. Thelma reminded me early on, stay true to yourself. Do what comes naturally, be honest, be authentic, and stay in your lane. So I've remembered all of what she told me, and I'm so grateful that I had such guidance early on YouTube. A lot of people on YouTube base their channels on drama and garbage. I'm not going to base my channel on drama and garbage. I'm going to base it on beauty, craft and design, antique and vintage, me as a reseller for over 30 years now, and also an artist and a silversmith. So I smashed all that into my channel, and I just don't feel like I want to spring off and do another channel. I want to keep it on one for right now. On to what's on my desk, which is the important part of this video. Thank you all so much again. So much. I can't say it enough, and you know how much I love you because I tell you all the time, and I hope I show you how much I love you because sometimes you can't believe just the words of a human. You have to watch their actions as well. This huge bag is filled with tons of treasures from Burton, and I mean, this whole thing is filled with jewelry, so we'll get into this in another video, I promise. We'll do that very, very soon. So that was only a portion of the jewelry that I bought at the Burton Antique Show. And then there was this that was out on my desk. I had shown the squash blossom before, but I paired it with these other Mexican silver beads, and I loved this layered look. So when people ask me, how do I wear my things, or how do I suggest people wear their things, do what you love. You know, don't listen to what someone else tells you what to do. Like, if you like to stack things, stack them. You know, if you like to stack a bracelet, go from your wrist to your elbow. Don't listen to what somebody else tells you about. You're not allowed to do that, or I'm the inventor of that. No one's the inventor of certain fashion, and whatever makes you comfortable, that's what you should do. That's what I've always done, and I think it made me quite successful in my business. Anyways, Mexican silver, so layered here Mexican silver, and then into the squash blossom. I love that look, and thank you for forgiving me for the dust on my busts every time. I did joke early on, I collect diamonds and dust. I collect both. This is an Art Deco necklace. It's actually two necklaces. This is one here. Let's see if I can go a little bit closer. And I don't know why I'm yelling. I feel like I'm so far away from the camera today. But this is an Art Deco necklace layered. There's two necklaces, 3 layers here, and then a 5 stone drop there, and then a very old squash blossom. And this one, extremely, extremely old. Definitely pre-1930. But I don't think much before 1920. A very simple, and these are, in fact, Navajo pearls. So these on this one are Navajo pearls. These beads are called Navajo pearls, and you can see the difference there between just those and bench beads. But again, that's another thing. I get so distracted because I have so much to share for information. But anyways, so that's a 1920s, maybe into the 30s squash blossom. Really fantastic. Great elegance in those blossoms too. But I'll bring this back when I go to the light box, because I know how all of you love when I say, let's go to the light box. It's just not today. This was an art glass vase that I got at the Burton show. And again, I was so tired out in that video, and I was so hot and I was exhausted, and I probably shouldn't have done the video, but I did anyway because I really wanted to take all of you with me, and I wanted to share that with my mom because she was unable to attend this year. This art pottery bowl, look how incredible this bowl is, and you could view it from any different way. This was only $5, and it's artist signed on the back. It is a porcelain clay body, but you know how I love my art pottery? Look at that goodness. Boy, I see so many things in that make me so incredibly happy. And I really had to have that. So that made me very happy for decorative arts. And again, I thank you so much for bearing with me in these videos, because I know you like the shows and tells, and that's what I based my channel on. So I'm going to get back to the shows and tells. This was fantastic for its viscosity and its glaze and the way it was frothy, and yet it was, filled with drips on this one side. But the viscosity in this, the way this was done, this artist knew exactly what they were doing, both in throwing the vessel and then also finishing it in this glaze that was just incredible. But look at that. Isn't that such a beautiful thing? So natural, so wonderful. And sometimes I'm at a loss for adjectives because things sometimes can be simply beautiful, right? I don't need to tell you a story about everything that I find. This is by Rainbow Glass, and it's one of the glass paperweights. I have a very large collection of Rainbow Glass. This is not life-changing. It made me very happy. Orange is one of my favorite colors, and it was only $5. So that had to come home with me. I was super thrilled. So again, not everything I touch is like this big history, important, amazing. Sometimes I'll find something that I love as simple as that, and it makes me very happy. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this video, we come down to just the last little bit of information here, and I'm so glad that you stuck with me. First and foremost, a little shout out for Jeremy's Coffee. He has gotten a lot of orders, and a lot of you have then asked me, like, as you watch past videos, you say, how do I order Jeremy's Coffee? So you just go to this website, Bully Run Coffee. So it's www.bullyrun, BULLYRUN, coffee.com. And that's Jeremy's online coffee store. So please go over to Bully Run Coffee and place your order today. Many of you are on reorder, and you know who you are. I don't think I should mention names, but there are a few of you who are now addicted to Jeremy's coffee, and you have made him so incredibly happy. So thank you so much for that. This is why I decided to do this video today, because let me get a few of these out of the way so I don't knock things over. And thank you again so much for joining in. I can't thank you enough. And I hope you never get tired of me thanking you, because you're the reason why I'm here. This is one of the books that has helped me the most in my jewelry journey. It's the Warman's Jewelry book, and I believe it's the 3rd edition. Let me make sure. I want to tell you correctly. Yes. Okay, so it's the 3rd edition. Now, mind you, there's a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I think a 4th, and a 5th. Now, I don't want to be critical of any of the editions, but this is my holy Bible of the jewelry world. This is the book that told me exactly what I needed to know when I went out in the field, and I've had this book for a very long time. I think this was published and brought to the public in 2002, all right? And it's by Christy Romero. So look at how long this has been with me. Look at that, like, finger funk. I just coined another phrase, finger funk. It's like my hands are so dirty, and it just looks like, a disgusting mess. But this book has been with me since literally probably 2003. So this was the book that I would take basically everywhere with me, and I could never get enough of it. The reason for that is it's one of the most accurate books on vintage antique jewelry, and it was done by Christy Romero. And Christy's picture is on the back here. And she was, as it says here, she was a historian, and she was the director of the Center for Jewelry Studies. And I believe that Center of Jewelry Studies was and is also still in California. And you can double check the information on that. But talk about a genius when it came to antique and vintage. I had the pleasure to meet Christy in real life in 2005. And I was lucky enough that on the inside cover right here, hopefully that doesn't flash out too much, it was signed right here, and it says, May 2005, to Jason. It was a pleasure to meet you at my lecture for GIAAA, which is the Gemological Institute of America Alumni Association, which was a national. And she said, I'm glad to know you found this book useful. And then she signed it, Christy Romero. And there's the inscription there, and I hope you can see that. It's kind of, the light's really flashing it up, but right there. So you can see all that information. And I'm normally not a social climber when it comes to like who I know in the business, because it really doesn't matter. You define yourself and your knowledge by who you are. You don't have to define it by who you run with. And I met her in 2005 at this Alumni Association talk, and it was in Akron, and it was invite only. I will tell you, when I met her, we shared an instant bond, and not only over jewelry, but in friendship. And we stayed in touch until her passing. And I will tell you, I had never learned so much from a person in jewelry than I learned from her. In the book, it goes chronological from Georgian through Victorian, and it breaks down a lot of basic information and a basic timeline. She's a historian, so the history of the world and how it affected jewelry was very important to her, and she'll mention like when synthetic rubies started, or she'll mention when a certain metal was used, or she'll mention when a certain designer was important to a time period. A lot of really critical information that will make you super agile and super smart. Trust me on this. Georgian, Victorian, the full color photographs, the way she lays the book out, and so user-friendly to see some of these things that we say we seldom see these days, but then you might see it and go right over it. Like steel jewelry, who would stop and buy jewelry made out of steel wire at an antique show or a flea market? Look at what would happen. You would go buy this necklace in a dollar bin, which, by the way, I've seen them in a dollar bin, not frequently, but sometimes, and you would go buy that, and that's worth $900 back in 2002 as Berlin wire work, or, steel wire work. Berlin iron and, the Silesian, I believe they say. Yeah, Silesian wire work, cut steel jewelry. Very, very expensive, and just made out of steel and then sometimes set with stones. I could get lost in this book and tell you so much more. The ring that I took on my feed the other day that I found in a pawn shop. Here's a classic example again. Found a ring in a pawn shop. Don't really want to comment on how much I spent. It was under, let's just say it was under $100. The same and very similar Navette-shaped ring in gold, listed as circa 1784, which is the correct date of my ring, circa 1884, was worth $1,800 back when this book was published. If I hadn't seen this and committed that form and material to memory, I wouldn't have been agile when I went out to the pawn shop and known what that was. I would have an idea what it was, but I may have reached over it, or I may have reached past it for, let's say, a common Weiss brooch or a common Miriam Haskell pearl necklace. You know, nothing taken away from those two things, but I would rather reach over those two things and pick this up. That's just as simple as it is. It made me a more agile and more versed collector, which then in turn made me a more educated and a more successful reseller. I hope that sounds right. I hope I got that right. I'm trying my best here again today to keep it lighthearted, honest, and educational. And that's what I'm trying to do for all of you. The way this book is laid out, though, I so wish you could go through every page with me. Micro mosaics, and then when people throw the other term around of mini mosaic or this or that, let's not do that. Let's leave the terms like what Christy would call things, because after all, she really guided me through a lot of misinformation from time to time. Gold in quartz jewelry. You know, you might reach past that one right here. You might reach past that at an antique show, and you shouldn't, because back then it was $881. Now this brooch conservatively would be between $2,000 and $3,000 on the retail level. So this will give you a baseline. And I say, let this be a springboard to give you the visual information that you need to know. And this book is not very big. It's only 272 pages total. And the breakdown, like I said, it goes chronologically. So it'll give you a lot of information on the makers and a lot of information of the time periods of what to look for. So when people have asked me, how did you get to be so smart? I say, I spent a lot of time in books like this, and this is one of my favorites. In my library, I probably have over 400 books just on the history of jewelry, gemstones, metal, that kind of thing. The history of jewelry and the history of design of jewelry. This is a book that I constantly reached for, constantly. So it'll go into arts and crafts jewelry, then it'll go into Art Nouveau, it'll also talk about Edwardian, it'll go into Art Deco, but full color photos the whole way through the book. And again, I could just go on and on and on. I don't get any royalties from, Pulls of Light, by the way, check that out, Pulls of Light. Very cool. But look, you just keep going. Bakelite, celluloid, Leah Stein. And then you get into fine jewelry of the 40s and 50s. Then you get into artisan jewelry of the mid-century modern movement. And a lot of these makers you can find. And some of these signatures do escalate the value of a certain piece. So a lot of times I say I would prefer to buy something unsigned. That's still true. Absolutely still true. But look at this, and then look at that one. Isn't that beautiful? Steel and pearl put together in the late 1940s. That's probably by Marsh and Company, more than likely. Haven't really looked through this book for a little while. Ming's from Hawaii, the pearl and gold. Again, I could just go on and on and on. Miriam Haskell, a big section on costume jewelry. You know what I liked about this book when it was dealing with costume? It didn't go on and on and on. It gave you baseline information of some of the most important makers, not the all-inclusive book on costume, but sure gave you an idea as to what to look for in craft and design, not just a manufacturer's name. When people start to throw names around, you got to wonder why. So just do your research and make sure that you're buying well-crafted things. Some of the earliest Schiaparelli was never signed, and it's worth 30 times what a signed Schiaparelli brooch is worth. So just be careful. Be careful on what you're buying. That's my biggest piece of advice. And do your own personal research. And I'm not lecturing you. I promise I'm not. Then Native American and Laloma. It shows you right there, Charles Laloma's signature. If you were to find this coral ring and you didn't know the Loloma mark, you may pass this coral ring. Let's say someone had that at $2,000. You may not buy that. It's worth today probably 20 or 30,000 because of that mark, because of the Loloma hallmark. So please get this book. I beg you. I get no royalties. I get no kickbacks. They don't even know that I exist. The Mormons and the manufacturers and the publishers of this book have no idea that Jason Adams exists. But I will tell you and promise you, you can see how many bookmarks I have in here. This book got me so far in my jewelry collecting world. And this was a springboard for something that happened later. And I promised I wasn't going to show this ever. But in honor of Christy Romero, I am going to show this. So in 2018, the Gemological Institute of America Alumni Association reached out to me to do a presentation. And it was I think it was like a 6-hour long, 6-hour long lecture from Jason. The Gemological Institute of America Alumni Chapter, they presented me with this at the end. It's a beautiful certificate, and it says, "Thanks, Jason Adams, for presenting jewelry history, identification, and value in today's market, May 16th, 2018. And they gave me this amazing, amazing, amazing plaque. And, you know, like I said before, this doesn't define me. But I sure am proud that I was able to do this. And they were so kind to give me this beautiful certificate. And I do have this hanging on my wall at home because from this in 2005, meeting Christy Romero in real life, it kind of completed the circle to then allow me to go back kind of in honor of her. And in honor of her legacy, to do my presentation for the Gemological Institute of America. And I will never forget this. May 6th, 2018. Feels like a long time ago. But I guess my thing is that I've always lived my life honestly, and I've always followed my heart. And that kind of has led me to this last piece that I'm going to show you today. And like I said, I kind of changed this whole thing around. So if I seem a little bit off, it's because I changed direction of the video at the last minute, like I always do. But I just wanted you to know how incredibly important you are. So I dug deep on this one. And there's a long story behind this necklace, how it made its way to me, my connection to it, and then how I then had to procure it for my collection. And it was quite a process, but this is a diamond lavalier necklace, and it's in this beautiful box. And I will bring this over to the light box eventually, not today, but this is just incredible. It's a diamond briolet necklace, and it's considered platinum, and it's considered diamond lace. So that's right around the best we can get is between 1910 and around 1915. Maybe as late as 1918, but that's really pushing it. Definitely Edwardian, and it's just such the beautiful piece. And all these little tiny pave diamonds. And then look at let's see here, 9 briolet diamonds. So each little diamond drop is faceted 360 degrees all the way around. So it's faceted like a chandelier prism, and that bottom briolet is over a carat. So this stone right here is over 1 carat. And it's just the most, look at this, how it lays. Isn't that one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see? So an original paperclip chain, and then this step-down medallion, and up this chain, if I were to take that out of there, look at the bezel set diamonds that go all the way around the neck. Isn't that just such the most beautiful thing? And look at the joy it brings me. Look at the amount of joy that brings me. It's one of the most beautiful things. And on the back, if you look at the back, look how that's constructed. It's just so beautifully crafted. This is timeless. This is elegant. This is one of the most beautiful in my collection. And I guess I'm at a loss of words again, and I just let you take that in for a diamond briolet pendant, and look at the size of it and the quality of the diamonds. I sure hope that that's a great close-up for all of you who decided to join in today on my 7,000 subscriber celebration. So I think that pretty much does it for me. I am going to go rest my back. I feel so relieved to be able to get this done. I feel like I'm back on track with my channel. I feel like maybe I had veered off just a little bit. And I appreciate all of your kindness. I appreciate you bearing with me and sticking with me, like I said. I really do. I'm very aware of how much you mean to me, and I hope you know that I want a reciprocal love. I want you all to know how much you're loved, and in this beautiful community, I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I will be giving out a whole bunch of information soon on, a whole different front in my life. I am getting back to being a silversmith. That has been something that I've needed a lot more than I was aware of. So you'll be seeing a lot more of my silversmithing videos of things that I've created, like my gigantic pebble ring and my opal ring. You'll see a lot more things that I'm going to be giving life to and giving birth to. So I don't know what else to say today. I feel as though I wanted to go on live so I could have a live chat. And then I decided, no, a pre-recorded was much more personal and for me much more heartfelt in a way. So thank you all so much. Again, I just can't say it enough. And I might seem obsessed and compulsive about it, but I would rather you know how much you mean to me. And on a daily basis, how loved I truly feel. Thank you for trusting me. And I'll get into so many more videos that are specific on time periods, evaluation. And then I want to bring on some information of what I've sold on eBay recently and give you some recent sales from eBay. I think I've taken enough of your time. I am going to go relax. I'm going to go lay down for the day. I actually am going to take the rest of the afternoon off. So I love you all so much, and please remember how much you mean to me. You got me to 7,000 subscribers, and I just can't believe it. I'm so deeply touched, and I want you all to know that. Thank you so much. I love you. I love every one of you.